Welcome to Best Thing This Week, our take on the things that make us happy in the world of nerd. It's from the fandomfoundry.com. I'm one of your hosts, Todd Oxtra, joined by, yes, folks, you haven't seen this man in a while on one of my podcasts, but glad to have him back. That's Mr. Donnie Reece, aka
Hello.
Eat the Hype, which I'll have to ask you about the actual foundation of that name because I don't think I ever asked you before. But also
We can
from
do
the
that.
PSVG network.
Yeah.
Donnie, how are you?
Greetings, Kooplings. What's going on, Todd?
All right. So Eat the Hype.
Yeah.
Let's get it out of the way.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I had many names for a long time. And I don't know how much you know about like our crew and kind of our origin. I don't think we crossed paths until I was many years into the PSVG thing.
Yeah.
All right. So boy, a long time ago. Like 2009, 10,
Okay.
11,
There
like
we go.
early Twitter, early social
Mhm.
media days. Not early social media, but early,
Sure.
I think, Our Spaces days.
Mhm.
I used to be known as Born a Buckeye, because I was a scout for high school football for ESPN.
What?
And
I did not even know that.
a lot of people don't. Yeah, like
That's
so, like
amazing. I love that.
the folks that knew me very early on, they remember me as Born a Buckeye. There's very few of them left, but like Dev, for example, he'll drop that reference every now and again. So I used to scout for ESPN for like six or 7 years, and obviously I am a Buckeye fan. I'm from Ohio. That's where I claim home, and so I was like very big into those spaces, the recruiting spaces, the football spaces. Like was not like on that grind, but like interested in like pursuing that path. And
Yeah.
so that was my first name. And then when I decided not to go down that path and broke off, it was very difficult keeping that name and keeping that persona because like college football fans are rabid. So
Oof. Yeah,
so
you are
I
judged. You were
I,
judged right away.
I created a new account called Playing Nintendo with no G. Ain't no G's in Playing Nintendo. You just be playing Nintendo. And I rocked that for many years, through PSVG's time and all of that. That was my name for a while. And I just got into a rut, which is like a common thing for me. It's very cyclical for me to just want to change things up. I think when it comes to like at least to the people in our crew and like our Discord and our audience, I think I'm somewhat like very emotional, so I'm kind of wishy-washy. I kind of like flow into different directions as like my heart kind of leads me into. And I was just like, man, I'm doing all this Game Pass stuff and PC stuff, and I was starting to get flack with the Play Nintendo thing. I was like, when you have a name like that, which I wore proudly, right? I am the host of the Nintendo Shack, like I've earned it. But like heaven forbid I have a thought to say about Doom or Battle for Middle Earth or anything else, The Last of Us, and somebody be like, you have a Nintendo in your name. It was just like a constant thing that kept coming. And for a while there, I just kind of was like, I'm just tired of this. I want to do something else. Right. I want to do something else. And I didn't try a bunch of names, but like I was wordsmithing a bunch of tags. Like your tag is like, if you're not just going to use your name, right, which some people do, but if you're not going to use your name, like your gamer tag, your handle, your online presence, whatever it is you call these things, they're are personable, right? Like they're a part of you. So I kept trying to find things, and I came up with a bunch of terrible names. And EatTheHype comes from Devolver, which is very fitting for me. One of our, I think, like our early niches is that we were streaming the Devolver showcase because we just thought it was hilarious. Years before, like I feel like people
The David Lynch of video games, the Eraserhead.
Like, we were way back. I mean, back when they were doing like, I'm not sure if you remember, if you've ever watched their E3 shows, but before they were even like super produced, they used to be like super indie. They would have like I remember the one they had like it was like a late night TV show set, like Conan O'Brien, and they had all these crazy things coming out of the TV. And like one year they had a wrestling match with like a chicken and an egg and a waffle and like a legit wrestling match, like a whole ring and a crowd and everything. So like we were doing that for a while, and like we were getting some pretty decent traction like that. They started going into like their deeper E3 things, where they had like the year-over-year progression where the story kept going as like this Devolver cinematic universe. And there's this one, which people may remember. It's probably maybe the most popular, famous one of theirs, where like they just started announcing games that aren't real.
Oh yeah,
it's
that was great.
For like the gaming echo chamber, I don't know what we call it, like the video game space that we all exist in commercials and stuff. It was just a satire of us, which I thought was hysterical. And it was just like, there's a guy, he's tapping on a tablet, and he's like, what are we doing here? None of these games are real. And the lady, she's just lost it, right? She's gone crazy, and she's like, it doesn't matter if it's real. It doesn't. All it matters is that we announce them. If we just keep making announcements that never happen, people will just be happy and excited because they don't actually care about the games. They only care about the announcement. And the guy's name in that video was Donnie. So she hits him. She's like, play the damn trailer. And he's like, what? She's like, Donnie, play the trailer. And she says, let them eat hype. Now, I have my reputation, if you listen to PSVG and stuff, like I said, a very, say, emotional, wishy-washy, I don't know what you call it, but I get very like, tunnel vision and I dive into things, and like EatTheHype fit, because it's kind of what I do. Like I get really excited about something, and often it can end in disaster. I can go down in flames. Right, like
yes, it becomes your personality, right?
And I think it's part of my
everybody
charm.
will remind you. Everybody will remind you.
I think it's part of that. So I came into the Discord with a couple of members, and I was like, "What about this? EatTheHype, like let them eat hype." I was like, and they were like, "Holy shit, Donnie!" They were like, "You nailed it!" And I don't remember when that was. I don't know, 2016, 17, something like that. I feel like somewhere around there. Maybe later than that, maybe 18, 19. But I've been that way ever since. And so that's how I set the name. So I like it because it's Devolver flavored, right? It's very me. It's very coded. I like I think it's got a nice ring. So I just made that all of my handles. So that's me on Nintendo and Xbox and Steam and PC and like all the different places. That's my handle.
I love it. And like, even if you want to change it in the future, just let them eat hype. To me, just
right. Yeah.
Chef's kiss.
Let them eat cake. Like, exactly.
Yeah.
I had a GIF for it too, which I probably still do. I could probably dig out, where I took that moment in the show and then I layered EatTheHype over it. And it was, it was really perfect. It was very good.
Well, you better grab those handles, just the other one, just in case. Got there. Yeah. Well, I will say mine are far worse. The first one that I had on PlayStation, was my first handle, was LWH1993. What do you think that was, Donnie?
LWH. I don't know.
More about, check the year, 1993.
Oh, dude, I got nothing. I was like, what, 6?
Lapeer West High School, 1993. Like, really? I know. I had the forever. Why did I pick it? I don't know.
It's not as bad as Sean was awesome schlong for a while.
Yes. A lot of us just thought they aren't going to matter. They won't follow you long.
Yeah, they're really
You will
dumb.
not ever have to talk about it. And then the next one was just T. Oxtra, which was just the most generic. And it's like, Toxtra? What is that? I'm like, no, it's my first initial last name. It's some dumb. It's like all my emails. That's dumb. So then I finally picked one that I felt like was okay. Spartion. Just, that's me.
Okay.
Michigan State.
Spartion,
Wayne Garth. It is what it is. And
it's
then
good.
Unfortunately, it's taken almost everywhere. So like, it's got to be Spartion 98 or Spartion 1998, which I won't say what that is, but you could probably
say,
guess
what's the 98 thing?
Probably guess it if you want, but
I can't. I
graduated.
Oh wow! Yeah, I wouldn't have guessed that. See, my head is in so.
Well, there now it's out there. Everybody's like, "Oh."
I'm thinking in my head, and I'm like, "What important thing happened in 1998?" I was like, "I don't know, the Monica Lewinsky trial. Like what? Like what is it, Todd? I don't know. I don't know."
I finally could stop going to classes and biking to class in the middle of winter. That's about
certainly.
It. So yeah, there we go, Donnie. To your point, yes. So that's what I stuck with now, just because it means something to me. And then I have another one just in backup, just because now my son's going to college, so I can use part of that and I can take that identity as well, because it's part of my identity now. But yeah, so there we go. So folks, just choose your identities well, but don't be afraid to abandon them, because they're probably not tied to anything unless it's like your Gmail address or something like that. That's okay.
Sometimes when I say we, I don't want to speak for you, but I've been doing this for a long time. It's kind of like my thing that I've been doing for the last couple months. It's just been taking stock of kind of everything. Dev tells me it's because I'm nearing 40, so he's feeling like I'm getting somewhat nostalgic. And I think when I first started doing this, I think I was very leery to I was very committed to doing the things I did all the time. I was very leery to change or adopt new things or abandon old things. I think sometimes you can feel like you get painted into a corner, like this is what is to be expected of you. And I personally have never really subscribed to, like I said, I will drop things and leave things. If anything, I feel like that's maybe my attachment. My attachment is to not be attached to something so much that I suffer through it. Right. And I feel like in the gaming space, that's the thing. People talk about it a lot, like your favorite console. It's where you've bought games before. It's where your friends play. It's almost like it's out of your control, right? It is just what it is. I like that I never really did that. And I don't know if it's ever really been said. So I think some people would be like, oh, every year he'll change his tune. It's I like that I'm willing to just drop things. I've abandoned complete libraries, ecosystem system, it's I don't like this anymore, and let's find something else. And
speaking of someone who completely dropped a podcast network after 11 years, you do find a certain time in your life, like you said, you're getting 40. I hit 50 this year. You do tend to get stuck. Is this really is this worth it? Me devoting all that time to something maybe I've been tied to. I always say duration should not tie you to something, because if it does, and that's the only reason you stick around because I've done it so long, then that's not a good reason. Maybe it is for somebody else, but for me, it wasn't. It was just maybe there's a better path. So
sure.
It's kind of like being a fan of a franchise. Sometimes they just go on too long. It's it doesn't offer it for me.
Yeah, don't be afraid to mix it up. Don't be afraid to change, whether it be your handle or your video game platform, the podcast, what you do,
your career. I mean, there's something else, or never be afraid to try something new, as I'm trying to do now. Is just, hey, there's more out there. What am I going to do? But you know what, Donnie, that's what we're on a voyage. We're not done yet. We have many years ahead, so this is the time to do it.
You may have many years ahead. I don't know about myself.
No, I'm dragging you with me, man. I'm dragging with you. We're all going through this together, this thing called life. But you know what makes life better? The best things this week. So that was a long segue to actually start the show, but that's okay. 13 minutes in, we're having fun. So I'll start and then jump in. Best things that I ate, but I also cooked it, was
hang on. I'm just going to stop you here.
What?
Tell me about your show. Yeah, because
this show?
You've changed your shows and you've changed your podcast lineup and everything. This is my first time being here. I will admit I haven't listened yet. So tell me about best things, like what sets you off, what drove this creativity?
So best thing this week is something where I decided I want to talk to a bunch of different people about the things they love, and kind of what fills up their week, because I think we always take for granted the cool stuff that happens in your life. We build things up oh, we're going to do something big, but in between there's things you do that are pretty cool, pretty awesome. And then it's I just didn't want to be one thing, because I don't want to be tied down to I have no video games I play this week, but I still have to do a show. This is more about, that's why I have 85 things that could potentially be on here. And if it's only one, we talk about it for an hour, cool. If we talk about 15 things and only takes 30 minutes, cool as well. So that was kind of because I did Secret Friendship Night, where we would hit all the geek news and we hit what we've been playing and then or watching, and then we'd basically be a topic or something. This one I'm you know what, I don't want to be having to do homework. I don't want to have to do anything. I just if this is what it is, and I have somebody else that maybe can tell me something cool that I end up watching or eating or something like that, I love it. So
geek out, man. I get it.
Yeah.
That's cool. All right.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is super easy. Format is very open. It's never the same thing twice, and which I absolutely love. And talking to and I just love this because I like talking to people and
Different
finding out
people.
like what food do they like. You know, what gets them excited in the world. Even if like it's something you did, it's like, oh, I went to a museum. Oh, really? I love museums too. So
Interesting.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So there we go. So with that,
I'm up to speed.
yeah, and I know I'm like, hey, you want to? We've been talking about getting going, and I'm like, oh, I'll drop the link for you, and I'm like, I took me like 18 hours to see Avatar, but I'm like, oh, I better get this to you, and it's like, yeah, so totally apologize for that, but you know, I knew Donnie, that's why I invited you because I know
You're good.
you're always gonna have something to talk about. You're never at a lack, a loss of words, which is fantastic. So super easy. So the best thing I ate slash cooked this week was Costco sells a really awesome pack of frozen prepared chicken al pastor. It's already cooked up. It's great. I think it's all thigh meat, but delicious, and you can prepare it however you want to. I'm like, well, that's a good baseline for a protein, but I need to bring something of myself to it. So I made this amazing black bean sofrito bowl. It's amazing. Has all of these vegetables sauteed, and it was amazing. And I try not to make it too spicy because that's a trap for my wife, because if it's too spicy, she won't eat it. But I did allow myself to have something to cool it down with like a crema. So, but it was amazing. It lasts a long time. I didn't do any rice this time, but it was just black beans, a lot of different things, a lot of sauteing to thicken, a lot of veggies. Really, really good. Highly recommend. I mean, it could have gone in even in a taco if I really wanted to, but that was the best thing I ate this week.
I don't think I've ever had sofrito.
And the sofrito is really more of like the base you have, kind of like if you Cajun, you have kind of like their roux and their, or is it the
Gotcha.
mise en place, the what do they call it? It's like celery, carrots.
Yeah, I'm looking
and
at
stuff.
it. I got Wikipedia
Yeah.
here. It's got onions.
Yeah,
stuff, but
it's
yeah.
very much a base for things, and you can add in, spice it up, or whatever. It was it could have been like almost a black bean soup if I'd put like broth in it or something like that. Really
Solid.
good. Yeah, yeah.
Well, I mean, I didn't eat anything outside of the norm, but I can tell. I mean, I can at least take a segue from you and build off of
Yeah.
it. I made chili this week. As all dads do. I think you get into chilies at some point. And I've been experimenting with chili for probably like 2 years. It's always easy to make, right? It's cheap to make, feeds the whole family, so it's always great. But it's really fun to to mix it up. And I've been trying to dial my chili in because of my wife also hates all things spicy. She says she doesn't. She's Cajun, which is crazy, but she says she doesn't.
So she's got that Ohio, like we call it Minnesota spice, which is low spice. Yeah.
But like I make the chili the way that I want it, and then she's always, like whenever I do anything to it, she'll, you start getting the, he starts panting. It's like, come on, it's not even that hot.
She's sweating.
So what I can tell you is, in my many attempts, what I've learned is I do think I have it down to basically a science now for her, because I like the spice. I want the Tabasco sauce, like that vinegar flavor. I think is real important to me as like a chili. Like I need that taste in the mouth. But like, because she hates all things hot, I've been holding back on the hot sauce. And so what I've done over the last couple times I've made it is I start changing different levels of stuff, and I think I've dialed it into just this. I think she hates cayenne pepper. Now when you tell her that, it's almost a defense mechanism. She's like, absolutely, I do not. But every time I use cayenne pepper, a lot or a little, she thinks it's hot. And that's because cayenne pepper gives you that tingling feeling. And I think she thinks that tingling feeling is what is hot. Right? So, and what I mean by this is I started with I usually dump a lot of cayenne pepper into my chili because I like it hot. So then I cut it back to half. She still thought it was too hot. And then I cut it back, and then I made chili without it. And she was like, this is good. So from there, I started to build things back in. So then I put 2 jalapenos in it, and then I put 4, and then I put 8. And I was like, can she handle this? Jalapenos? No problem. I don't even tell her they're in there. She has zero problem eating jalapeno peppers.
Do you de-seed? Do you take? I mean,
no. I just chop them right there.
Holy
and
crumbs!
I just chop and just put the whole thing there. What I do like to do is I like to saute my peppers down. Right, that's like almost like the first thing I do is like I put a little char on them a little bit and let them cook down a little bit, maybe like sweeten them up a little, and then hot sauce. So like the 2 or 3 times ago that I made it, I put a little in, and then I put a little bit more, and then yesterday I was just like, and she liked it. Yeah, she eats it. So I've like my theory, my hypothesis is that it's just the cayenne pepper. If I stay away from the cayenne pepper, I think she's all good. So
it's interesting. So it's interesting you mentioned chili is ritual. That was the only thing my dad ever made was chili, because he would make a batch to go hunting. So he'd make a big batch, and then he would go with his
live
buddy
off of it
or
for
my
4
uncle.
days.
Oh yeah, that's all you
makes
do.
Sense.
And then it's a bunch of guys who haven't showered or done anything in a couple of days, eating a lot of chili. And then obviously they have no bathroom. They have to, or there might be an outhouse.
Awful.
I mean, when my dad used to go hunting, and then he would take me when I got old enough, and that was about the length of my hunting adventures. But it brings back that memory. And I love making chili as well. I've been experimenting too with, well, do I do like chorizo, regular ground beef, or what else to do it? So the one I always want to try was like that white chicken chili. I'm like, I've never done it before. Donnie, are you shrinking? Oh, wait.
Nope. I'm getting ready
taller
to stand up.
All right. Oh, wait. Are you taking a stand? Objection. Oh, no. No, I've never had before. I've heard it's good, but I'm like, should I try it?
Yeah. Open to new things.
Yeah. Well, very good, man. If you have any recommendations beyond just the trying to trick your wife in how she can eat chili, definitely pass along. If you got a favorite recipe or something like that, share it. I'll remember to put a recipe in here for people if they want to try mine as well. So so eat up, folks. Holidays coming. I already know what we're making for the holidays. I don't know, do you have any special holiday things you make?
No, my wife usually does most of the holiday cooking. We're probably 50-50 on the cooking. I think I cook quite a bit more than I really ever have last few years, but she wants to cook Thanksgiving and Christmas. I even tried to take it away from her this year, and she wouldn't let us have it. So my son is he wants to make the mac and cheese.
Okay. Yeah, you're down south. That's kind of part of it, right?
Yeah, he's trying hard to take it from her, and she's not giving it up. So we'll see how that turns out next year.
Once he's learning it, that's all that matters. And then he can take it over. Yeah. So I'm very excited because I'm going to try a couple new things this year. But yeah, my wife, it's definitely the holidays are her time to shine, especially when we've gone away for Thanksgiving and we don't have the holidays at our house. She feels like she's lost control. So this year it's back in just the 3 of us, which is going to be
my mother-in-law's like that too.
Yeah.
She constantly wants everyone there.
Yeah, totally. Well, let's get into the best things we watched if you've got one. So I'll start off with a movie, and I saw Avatar. Avatar. It's the tire that they wear on Avatar. It was a movie about that, or documentary. And I do have questions about that. It's like the women wear like little string bikinis kind of sometimes, and it's kind of weird. The outfits are kind of different. But Avatar Fire and Ash, the not the end of the trilogy, because it's not a trilogy apparently. This is the 3rd movie in Avatar. I think the last film came out in 2023. My history on Avatar was really thought the technology was cool. Did not think the story was good. I didn't think the characters were good.
I walked out of the first movie.
Well, I think a lot of people.
I don't know how long ago that was, but I walked out of the first movie.
2009, I think.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
Yeah. I mean, it was a huge deal, but yeah, I mean, it's the franchise that everybody says it's the biggest franchise in the world that, quite honestly, nobody remembers.
I didn't know that they made more movies. I had no idea that a new one came out. I've been out of it. I liked the video game. Okay, it wasn't too bad.
Which one?
But I didn't finish
one that was on the Xbox 360 or the brand new one?
No, the newer one. I took that one for a spin. I didn't really play it. I probably played it maybe 5-7 hours, something like that.
I played a little bit.
I thought it was pretty good, but Avatar's not my thing, right? So it was hard to get into it. I remember, I walked out of the first movie. My wife was like, "What's the matter? You paid?" I was like, "It's just Ferngully." I was like, "It's just the worst Ferngully."
It's Dances with Wolves.
Yeah.
It's a lot of those things. White savior. These poor people need Jake Sully to save them. But yeah. I mean, and I would say the second movie far better. I like the designs of the Water Tribe 100% better. They actually looked interesting versus weird blue cat people that are really skinny, which really looks weird. I thought they add a lot more. I thought James Cameron kind of took his time to build more of the world, laid it out, liked it a lot, had some amazing sequences. But once again, I would not say the acting, the directing, the writing are really there. That's why I've never seen the first one again. It's spectacle to me. That's why I probably haven't seen Titanic again for the second time. I like Titanic, but it was just like, I don't need to see it a second time. But I know a lot of people have. Yes. And then this third film, wow, it kind of feels like this should have been the second half of the second film, but then it would have been a 6-hour film. This really just repeated so many things of the second film. They brought in another tribe. They're doing more battles that are very similar. There was one scene that felt almost exactly like I'd seen it before. A lot of the same conflicts, and I felt like nothing was really added. Once again, beautiful, but I think you get to a certain point, you're like, I think I've seen everything they have to offer right now. I don't know what's going to happen next, but I feel like it's going to be more of the same. I think there's a fourth film coming. James Cameron may even try to make a fifth because they make so much money. But I appreciate what it does well, but I don't feel like it's really changed enough to say that this franchise gets the budget it does. But I understand because of the money. It all comes down to money. So that is Donnie. I don't think if you didn't love the first one, you walked out of that one. You're good to just walk away and like a lot of the things, like myself with Star Wars. A lot of Star Wars I don't love these days, but I like a lot of the games. I love playing a Star Wars game. Don't necessarily love watching the content. So maybe that's for you. You got 6 hours of Avatar and you didn't have to watch any of James Cameron's direction. So there you go. Win-win.
Let's see here. Best thing I watched this week. Well, my wife and I are watching Game of Thrones for the first time.
Oh, really? Okay.
We just finished. We've made it through the first season. I think we're through season 2, episode 1, I think. It's been a while since we got like a show. It's been a minute. It's like, that's really her thing. It's not really my thing. I don't really do a whole lot of television or serial stuff. It's like, we're limited in the amount of hours we have. I can't be following these, years long series of shows and play video games at the same time. Especially these video games are 50, 60, 70 hours. Like there's just not enough time to do all of those things.
I know.
So usually most years we'll have like one show that I'll watch with her. Cause that's like, man, that is her thing to do. She just wants a show, just a couch rot with a show. So we started doing Game of Thrones. I've been somewhat of a fantasy kick lately. And I don't mind it. It's okay so far. She's more into it than I am, I think. She's already telling me people she likes and don't like. I don't think I really have. I'm almost somewhat indifferent. I'm like, it's doing that thing. Now, here's a funny thing that your listeners or the public may just laugh. I didn't realize it was actual dragons.
It feels like at times there's no fantasy in this show.
Like I didn't realize, and all this time, this is how like kind of, head in the sand I can be on things. I didn't realize this show was about actual dragons. I thought like the dragon was just more like a sigil, like a symbol of something. Yeah. Not like, and then I saw like it almost took me out of it kind of. I see this like, very CG. I was like, what is that?
It's a little baby.
So we're doing that. Last night we watched the new Counting Crows documentary.
Oh wow!
So if I can take a feather out of your cap from James Cameron and people that hate him, and I'll just give that to Adam Duritz, because I know a lot of people hate him.
Yeah,
I love the Counting Crows music, and acknowledge that dude's an asshole. Like everyone knows. And the documentary does him no favors.
Oh, good. So it's not like was it who chose to make the documentary? Was it them? And they said, "Hey, make a documentary."
It's HBO. HBO has like a series of these now, I think.
Okay.
Where they're doing like documentaries about musician like acts, and like I think it started with like their Woodstock documentary, and I think they've done a couple more, and then this was the Counting Crows. I haven't watched the other ones. I watched the Woodstock one. That was a few years ago. But I do love the Counting Crows music. Some of my absolute most favorite songs actually are a few of theirs. So I was like, yeah, I definitely want to watch this. And yeah, I mean, long story short, I'll save everyone the time from watching it. Like, if you thought he was bad, like as a persona in public, he's worse to his own band members. Like, it's very sad. Like, he rules that band with an iron fist. They talk about it frequently. They're like, it's his band. He has creative control. Like, we do everything that he says in his way. But he's also, you know, he is the star, right? Like, I honestly, my wife and I were talking about it. Like,
yeah,
nobody knows the rest of that band. Like, he could change any one of them at any point. Like, he writes all the songs, he sings. I think he's got a very, you know, unique voice, a unique sound. And yeah, they kind of go through all that. Him, you know, like they're dealing with fame and all of that. And it's, you know, it's a lot of him. It's very funny. I've always enjoyed kind of watching these things because anybody who's ever listened to him, you know, podcasts, videos, interviews, things like that, he constantly strives. He's got like this indie vibe where he wants to be unknown, but loves the center of attention. And just watching that like ego and pathos go against each other, like in one person at all times, like constantly, like he's very much that way. I find that to be somewhat interesting, but I was watching it for the music. I do love, I think maybe about 8 of their songs, and Long December is a big time favorite of mine. I listen to it all the time. So yeah, he's a great songwriter. So I was watching that. It's okay. It's not awful. You can find worse ways to spend an hour, I guess. It's also not like amazing or very, you know, captivating.
Yeah, I'm just showing the trailer, and I'm amazed at like a lot of the people they've got to be in this. Like, I think it's what Chris, I'm blanking on his name from Coldplay, and then they had Jeffrey Ross, like
Jeff Ross was there.
famous what he was known for roasting people, and
Mary Louise Parker's there. Well, all those people that are there, Steve Kerr's in it. They're all like
crazy.
They're all like friends of his, and they all tell stories of like where they crossed paths and what show. And I caught them in '96, and then we became pals. And yeah, it's a behind the scenes, like very much VH1's Behind the Music, which we don't really have anymore.
No,
right? That's dating myself. Well, that's what this is, and I think that's the spirit of the series to try and do something like that, bring some of that back.
Yeah, I mean, I really like the band. Now, I finally saw them. They were headlining a show with Live, and Live is one of my favorite bands. So
Live, I've seen Live in person, and I've told everyone that's ever asked, that's the loudest show I've ever been to.
Oh yeah.
Like, I saw them at the Variety Playhouse back in 2009, 2010 maybe, and my ears were ringing coming out of that, you know. And it's a smaller venue, a few hundred people maybe. It's a standing venue, warehouse kind of thing. But I've been to a lot of concerts. I've been to metal concerts. I've been to Ozfest. I've seen some concerts, man. I've been front row at the Chili Peppers, like 20 feet from them. And the amount of volume that band cranked into that building that night it's made a lasting memory. But it's so funny you bring up the band. I love the band. They're great. They're like
it's just, so I was so excited because I'm like, oh, I've seen Live multiple times. I talk about bands having drama and stuff like that. Ed Kowalczyk, famous drama queen with his bandmates, they broke up. And then they got back together. I'm like, well, I better see them now that they're back together, because, you know, a blow up is probably going to happen and they'll never be back together again. But Live was amazing. They were not the headliner. They were the opening act for Counting Crows. I'm like, oh, cool. I've never seen Counting Crows. Love their albums. I had never heard them live before. And I don't know what's changed, but I think this leads into you saying, and, you know, he wants to be that unknown guy, but he loves the certain. Half of the songs was him just telling stories about the songs.
Yeah.
But it was really like every song had a story.
So he has a reputation for like sometimes he can be magical live, but he has a reputation as being a bad live thing, because I think most of the time when you go to the show, you want to see the band play the song the way you know it.
The way you know it, yeah.
And the Counting Crows almost rebelliously never do that. Like the song is different every night. So it's just like, I don't know, like hopefully it's like a coffee house jam band. Like, you know, it's like, what are you doing
of the band?
Yeah, like, and I think that's really rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. It's like, you either got to be here and adopt that kind of obnoxious commitment to the artist, or maybe you turn some people off. They're very divisive. It's funny, my wife, they called them, they're like the polarizing band, and my wife was like, polarizing the Counting Crows? I was like, they are actually.
They are.
Like, if you don't follow them, like, a lot of people hate him. Like, just hate him and the band. They're like, these people suck.
Yeah. So to your point, the way they played a lot of their big songs, I'm like,
they slow them way down. Do they slow them way down?
Oh, yeah,
like acoustic singer songwriter.
Like, we're going off pace. I'm like, okay.
I have a theory with him. Yeah. I don't know if I'd like to say it. You tell me if you agree with it. I don't know if my wife was buying it as much. He's always given me like Van Morrison vibes.
Yeah, I can hear it.
Yeah, and I feel like that's maybe kind of an understated, underappreciated part of him. And I think Van Morrison is honestly in a lot of the ways the same way. And if you ever like get to know or look into Van Morrison a bit, he could be somewhat.
Van Morrison, but I really should probably look up some live.
Be a little troublesome, like a little prima donna, like, and I feel like they're kind of more in vain. They're more in the same than they're not. And it's just like a weird, it's like Van Morrison, but with like a 90s alt sheen kind of on top of it.
Yeah. I get it. I just want to say Stingray X is in the chat watching us. Thank you. He had a couple of comments. He says, hell yeah, loose format. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, that's why I do the show. But he said, Donnie, well, you are the Dragonborn. So
I've been playing Skyrim all month. So the folks that listen to us, they know that. Yeah, I'm 70.
What was the Skyrim thing?
What?
I'm thinking of Skyrim. You're talking Dragon Quest, two different things. There's dragons in Skyrim too, and
I'm 70, 80 hours into Skyrim this month. I think for like we're on break from podcasting. We typically.
What's the shout that he does?
I don't know.
It's like Sofrito or something like that, isn't it?
Yeah. I just don't know like how to spell it or how to pronounce it. I just R button.
Yep.
Like I just do it. I'm not really paying attention.
Oh, yeah, gotta love it. Oh, boy.
But yeah, no, it was a big thing for me this month. It's getting back into Skyrim, having a blast with that. It's nice when we take the December off for the podcast, and I usually save this time to like replay some stuff and kind of reconnect. And I've been putting the Skyrim thing off, and like this time I dove just
let's go. Yeah,
way
only 80
like
versions of it. Right?
I'm reading all of the stories and the books and stuff. Yeah. Like I bought.
I do love it when you get the skill though from a book. Like, that's amazing.
I'm
versus like just the history of some weird cookbook, and it's like
I'm finding all of these cool weapons that I never knew to look up before. Like I'm being guided through it through YouTube and online guides, and I'm just kind of like rediscovering a Skyrim that I never knew before. It's been fun.
Yeah. Very cool, man. And before we move over, because we're going to talk about games actually, best thing I watched, I finished a series. It's amazing. This is the best type of series, Donnie. It's a half-hour comedy that's only 9 episodes long. It's on Apple TV, and I don't know if you've heard of this before. It's called The Studio. So The Studio is basically a fictional or a movie studio. Seth Rogen becomes the VP of the studio, and they are essentially a fake studio. But this is all about essentially, it feels like Seinfeld or Curb Your Enthusiasm, but definitely hyped up, where they run into real actors, real directors, and it's about him trying to save the studio, but make important films, but also make films that make money. And like Bryan Cranston he's like the CEO of the company. He plays like an 85-year-old exec who's lost in time, kind of looks like somebody's from the 60s. And their big deal this whole season has been, well, the big movie that you're going to make this year is the Kool-Aid movie. So Yeah, they got the license to Kool-Aid. So it's about that. It kind of
Oh,
like 9
yeah.
episodes to get there. But it goes through all these past. I don't want to give too much away, but the second episode is all about this is just crazy. Scorsese says, I want to make this Kool-Aid movie. Like, what? And they actually have Scorsese is in the film or in this series. It's hilarious. But he says, I want to make the Jim Jones story. So if anybody knows Jim Jones, he was that cult leader who they famously poisoned everybody in the Kool-Aid. So like Seth Rogen's like, yeah, let's do this. I got Scorsese going to make this movie. He tells the boss, he's like, hell no. I want that CGI red dude coming through the wall saying, oh yeah, and making millions and millions. So it's like, you just see Seth Rogen and he's also covering multiple
Catherine O'Hara in it. My wife would love that.
But there's Bryan Cranston. Unfortunately, there's a scene about drugs and how much of a drug is, and somebody's too embarrassed to not know how much like a dose of certain drugs are, so they end up overdosing everyone at the party. So it's very funny, very good. Yeah, kind of gives you that very uncomfortable, lots of different topics, like who could they cast in the Kool-Aid film, and then they look at like, does that feel racist?
I keep hearing such wonderful things about Apple TV programming. I've never subscribed or checked any of that really out.
Oh, it's got, I would say the quantity is not great, but the quality is amazing, and they cover everything.
It's so funny. I went out to lunch with a work colleague, and he was telling me about Pluribus.
Oh, Pluribus, new show by the guy who did Breaking Bad.
Like, he was doing this. It's like the second time this week I've had somebody be like, you got to get Apple Plus and watch a show.
Yeah,
interesting.
You can get lots of trials for like 3 months for free. So even you don't even need an Apple device, which is great now. So, but yeah, I check it out. Yeah, they have a good mix of science fiction, fantasy, real stuff. They even have a show. You'll laugh. They have a show that Ubisoft decided to make called Mythic Quest.
I remember that.
It's all by Video Game Studio.
It was at E3.
Well done. Yeah, it's very well done. Very funny. Got some great character actors. It's got some great things. And, it's just like most good sitcoms. Doesn't matter what it's based around. It's the characters and kind of their interactions. So it's well worth it. So that is what I watched, folks. I could talk about a million other things I'm trying to wrap up, but this was kind of the one I thought that I hadn't talked about in a while. Then let's pivot to games. So, Donnie, a game that I just got from GameFly, and yes, I'm the only person still using GameFly. So I'm very proud of that. But that works great if you own a Nintendo, or you own a Xbox, or you own a Switch, because all the games still come out for it. So I can get first-party games and whatever, and I also have Xbox and everything like that. So it works out really well. But the game I just got is called Terminator 2D No Fate.
Yep.
This game is so much fun. This is like the Genesis game you wanted to play as a kid, because it looks awesome, has that vibe, but obviously it's got new technology that never could have happened on the Genesis, but that vibe is perfect. And this is essentially like a really cool take on the Terminator mythos. It kind of captures what happened in the movie Terminator 2, but went over things you never saw. And then what it also does in the movie, or in the game, it also allows you to change fate. So basically you can kill someone, and it'll have effect. You could do this and it'll have an effect, which is great. And that's why multiple playthroughs really make sense in this game. It's pretty short, but the multiple playthroughs are pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's meant to be played multiple times.
Correct. So you play like a level as, like, you even do this thing where it's essentially, you talk about Sarah Connor, she was going to train John. Well, it's kind of like the story of where she was going to go train him. And just like in Double Dragon, these toughs come up to her, punch John Connor in the stomach as a little kid, put him on the shoulder, and walk away. So she has to do a mission to save him, which was never in the movie. And that's how she ends up. And then she ends up going kind of crazy to like take down Cyberdyne. So that's how she ends up in the and then you basically get hauled away from that. So it's putting all these extra moments in, and it's very fun because the gameplay is spot on. The controls feel amazing. And then it has different types of gameplay, like there's driving levels, so you're like John Connor on the bike trying to get away from the Terminator, and it's fun. I just really appreciated that they made a game like this. It's a little pricey though. How much do you think this game costs?
It's like $40, right?
I think it's 50 physical. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I think
it's a little bit
I'm
much.
holding out on it because I was waiting for a sale, and I've just got a ton of things to play anyway. But yeah, I definitely would play it one day. I like a good beat 'em up. All these games I've done most of them. Scott Pilgrim, all of those. Excited for the new one.
Well, this is primarily a shooter. So
Oh, really?
it feels like
Because it looks like
Metroidvania.
it's like a bit of Contra and a bit of like Streets of Rage, right?
It has that. Yep. So you're going through. There's even a level where you show up as Arnie, as the Terminator. You know, like naked in the first scene. You're in the biker bar and you're just punching guys because you don't have a weapon, and it's great. You hit a little bit of a spoiler if you don't care, Donnie.
Yeah, no, I'm fine.
It's a small one. You punch the jukebox and it plays Bad to the Bone.
Nice, very nice. Yeah, I've been hearing really cool things about it. I'm excited to play it one day.
Yeah, I think it's wait for a discount, but I think the replayability is there in the fact that it is all about all those different choices and the way it plays out.
Sure. Yeah, that's a lot more than like Power Rangers doesn't have any of that, and Power Rangers is really short. Me and Jack got through.
Yeah.
Usually I save these sorts of things for me and my son. We play these co-op together. So we're gonna do Marvel Cosmic Invasion this week.
Oh,
actually, that's the plan. And then we did like Power Rangers together and Streets of Rage and all that. So we'll get this one day.
Very, very cool. Well, I would say the other thing that's kind of fun with this one is the difficulty. It's got like Hasta la Vista, baby. Like the difficulty levels are just funny as well.
Sure.
But the cool part is they make it difficult because they just limit your continues. So you can get more continues, but you can also lose out. And then if you don't have enough continues, you start again
over
in the beginning.
Yeah.
But the easiest level, infinite continues. So they kind of get the fact that some people just want to play for fun. They don't care about the difficulty. So I love it when they say it doesn't ruin the experience, but it's like, I just want to get the experience. I don't want to have the frustration. I want to see all of the levels, which there are lots of levels. So, yeah. So that is what I've been playing. I've been playing other things too, but that's primarily the one I wanted to talk about this week. Now, you said you've been playing Skyrim and you've got some stuff on your plate. So anything else that you're able to play? Obviously, Skyrim is a big one. When you play that, I don't know how else you play anything else.
Yeah, I think I've maybe reached the point where I'm ready to play something else. I just started Metroid. Like, and I mean just started, like I'm maybe an hour in, like I just started it. So that'll be on the dock this week. I think the more fun thing to talk about, I think it will be fun when I get back to doing podcasts with Shaq, is I played and I finished the Final Fantasy VII demo. Now, for folks that have listened to PSVG, or if you ever have, or if I guess it better say if you haven't, I've talked so much shit on Final Fantasy for 10 years. I've never played one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the fun story that I have about that is I had a kid on the school bus. We weren't really friends, but like we were just in proximity next to each other. And this was at a time when I was playing Ocarina of Time. And I think we were getting into like a schoolyard war of words over what was better. And, you know, he's like, you got to play Final Fantasy. You just got to play it. Now, me also, for those that never listened to me, not a turn-based guy. So JRPG, turn-based things, like I don't, you know, I do play Pokemon and Fire Emblem, so I'm not like a, you know, agnostic to them, but Final Fantasy, Chrono Trigger, Dragon Quest, like I never really did any of that. Like I usually find turn-based stuff boring. Like it just, it's not, you know, it's not, I don't get the immediate feedback that I'm looking for when I'm playing games from those things. So I've talked a lot of shit about this because this kid was like, come to my house and I'll show you Final Fantasy VII. And I'll never forget, I think I was in 5th grade and I got off the bus. And remember, I'm playing Ocarina of Time, one of my favorite games ever, one of the most influential video games of all time, right? And I walk in this kid's house and he puts this disc in the PlayStation and those sprites come up with those polygonal hair, you know, and he's like, just hit the attack and it just chops and you just wait and it like circles around and just chop. And I was like, this cannot be the greatest video game. What are you talking about? This is awful.
This was 7, right? This is 7,
Yeah,
right?
I was like, this is
on
terrible.
PS1. Yeah.
What are you talking about? Like, this is not even, you're not even in the ballpark. I've played bad N64 games better than this, you know? So
I play that on the Super Nintendo, right?
So then you take that experience that I had, again, that dogmatic, didn't try it, never played it myself. I just, summed it up, judged it on face value. And then you fast forward me 10 years through, Nintendo Land and GameCube and everything else, and into starting to do PSVG, and then it comes back around, right? And they announce this damn thing at E3, and the kind of funny guys are crying their tears. My Discord's like, it's the E3 of. I was like, what are you guys going on about? I'm so sick and tired of hearing about this game. So it's just been. I have a long history of making fun of Final Fantasy, but again, being open to things, and when it was announced for Switch 2,
it's no longer part of your personality, Donnie.
Right. When
let it go.
Me and Rebecca both, when it was announced for Switch 2, it was twofold. One, it's cheap. It's cheaper than Terminator. You can play Final Fantasy 7 on Switch for $40.
Oh, is that the Intergrade too, where it's like it's got the extra content?
Yeah, that
they did that, and that's how they get you. Because my son, I played it, I'm like, Dad, I'm not playing it again just to get this Intergrade stuff.
So
like, okay,
Rebecca, before we went on break, Rebecca and I were both like, I was like, you know what? Maybe let's try it. Like, why not? Why not? Who knows? Maybe I'll play it and love it and have to come to the podcast and tell everyone that I was wrong. Maybe I'll play it and hate it and double down on it. Like I was right the whole time, So I played the demo. I've already pre-ordered the game, but I played the demo, and I thought when the demo came out, I said to myself, well, I can play the demo. If I hate it, I can cancel the pre-order.
Yeah.
Well, I'm here to tell you I'm keeping that pre-order because I had a pretty good time. It's pretty great. Now, obviously, game's completely different than the Final Fantasy VII experience I saw.
Not turn-based if you don't want it that way. Yeah.
It felt way more like games that I do enjoy, like Devil May Cry and things like that. It's, so I kind of dug it, and it looks and plays great on Switch too. And I was like, yeah, because I had a Best Buy coupon, $25 from buying all the stuff that we bought this year. So I used that even on this. So I'm getting Final Fantasy VII for like $13.99 anyway.
Nice,
it's
nice.
so
yeah.
I'm gonna give it a try. I'm gonna give it a try when I come back. I'm excited to see what that's like when it releases. I think it's out next month.
I did play Final Fantasy VII. It's like it was the first turn-based game I ever played. Well, no, I did play one PC RPG that was turn-based as well. It was also kind of tactical, really weird. I then played Final Fantasy VII, loved it to pieces, but then I just realized that was just because I liked that version of it, have really fallen off of any turn-based RPGs, and then I experienced the South Park RPGs.
Yeah, those are great.
Those are amazing. They make it to me entertaining. There's no grind in those games. It's pretty much the story goes through. You don't have to worry about grinding. It was like 20 hours long. Good to go. I do feel like the one I probably should have tried more of is Expedition 33, just because my son ate that up and he's not a turn-based guy. And the other one is Baldur's Gate 3, which I own because of FOMO, but have not even started it because I'm like,
I'm very lucky in that regard. Like I don't usually do most turn-based things, so there's got to be a hook to it.
That's what I was thinking.
A deal or an IP or something. Like it's like I'll tell people I don't do turn-based things, but I've beaten and finished like every Fire Emblem game for 15 years. But I like Fire Emblem though. It's like that's the thing. Yeah. So it's like it's not just the turn base. It's like if the turn base has something I enjoy, like a Pokemon, I'm into it. But if it's something I don't know about or something I don't like, then I'm kind of blinders. It's just kind of like, nah, it's not really for me.
Some of the scintillating Japanese RPG storytelling is a little bit a lot of the I'm not saying thing, but you see the lips ... I'm like, why are we even seeing that? And there's no spoken dialogue half the time. So I'm like,
and then part of the interest is, we have a brand new console. It's a big port. There's a tech interest there. It's like, let's see what this thing can do. And it does. It looks great.
I'm so happy that Switch owners and owners are finally getting the games that they kind of lacked because they wanted to support the system or it was just too weak to show it well. So very excited. And it's going to be cool. And I am also using the holiday to catch up. I've got so many games to finish. But you know what? That's why when we're going to do, and just to raise the curtain, what we're going to do this year, Donnie, because I no longer have Secret Friendship Night where we do all these other things. I'm going to do the best thing this year, and I'm going to do it by movies, TV, whatever. And just whoever wants to come and join me, we have a crew, we talk about it, and you give me your top 5 so we can all take notes, and that's about it. And it's not going to be the best in regards to the best, right? It's just the things we enjoyed.
That's what we do. We do that same thing. Yeah, we have we do a year-end wrap-up show. It used to be a Christmas show. This year we did it just a couple weeks ago. And it's like a holiday party, honestly. I just like stand up the link and folks coming in and out. And I talked about like my last year, I had great time playing a lot of games, but I talked about my N64 games, like retro stuff, Donkey Kong 94. I played for the first time last year. Absolutely loved that game.
Where is that on? Is that NSO now?
NSO is where I played it when it came out. Because
they call it Donkey Kong 94, or do they call it something else?
I think it's called whatever. No, it's called what I think it's called Donkey Kong in parentheses like 94. Yeah. Yeah, because I love I got into the Mario like versus Donkey Kong games like on the Wii U and the 3DS, like minis on the move and stuff. I always like when Nintendo does like cheap stuff. They don't do it often, usually when they're down, but when they're down, they get real creative and you start getting like cheap games, little spin-off things, little filler titles, and I love those. Like I love Pokemon Quest and all the Kirby fighters, and I've just always kind of had an affinity for those. And they did the Mario versus Donkey Kong on Switch a year or 2, maybe 3 years, I don't remember. And I remember everyone was like, "Oh God, I'm not gonna buy that. It's $50. It's way too much money for." But I always kind of like those games. Like there's a niche there that I kind of dig. So when I played it, I was like, I love it. It's really good. And people were like, "Did you like Donkey Kong 94?" And I was like, I don't know what you're talking about, because I never had a Game Boy. So
me either.
It hit NSO and people were like, Donnie, that's you. You gotta. And then I played it and I was like, they're absolutely right. I love this game.
I need to play it. I've heard so much about this game.
It's great.
I'm like, I've got to play it. Like it's got cool Mario moves
it's way better than the other ones. Like they're all right. Everything that was said to me is correct.
I don't want minions. Or I don't want the
toys,
the Marios, right? I just want to play a Donkey Kong game.
I kind of like I think it scratches like an itch in my brain where I like the setting up the contraption and then testing the contraption. It's fun. Yeah.
Well, very cool. Anything else you wanted to talk about this week, Donnie?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. Well, very good. Well, you know what I loved about this episode? I got your origin story. So I love that. That was the best thing for me this week, that I learned something new about you. It's amazing. And hopefully everybody else got to learn about you. So love it. It's an open format, and that's why. And I love it when it goes places I didn't expect. So Donnie, very excited for you to have some time off, catch up on some games, eat some good food, maybe watch some Apple TV Plus. Maybe Santa will drop off a subscription. But, while that's happening and you have content to share, where can people find this cool stuff that you do?
Yeah, you could Google us, PSVG, play some video games. Our website, I believe, psvg.net, I think is the short code. Hang on, let me test that real quick, because I normally don't hand that out. Let's see here. Yep. PSVG.net is actually the best thing you can do. You do that, it's going to give you an invite to our Discord, a link to the BlueSky, the YouTube, the Twitch, the podcast feeds, the socials for the team members, the different shows. Like that is our one-stop shop for everything that we do. But you can find us on, like, I am on BlueSky. My BlueSky is psvg.net. I kind of represent the whole brand. It's a personal account, but I kind of post our stuff there, post our podcast there. But we have a little collection of, we have our own little tribe in the Discord, and we hang out with each other every day and talk shit. And like, we like that, I think, maybe a bit more than most. We're not nearly as business-like. We were somewhat the misfits, I think, of the super game indie podcast scene. So we like that a lot. And come hang out with us if you like, if you enjoy it. We do play some video games weekly, usually Wednesday nights. And we talk about anything and everything. It's usually a 2 to 3 hour show. We'll have Florida stories, video games, nonsense. And then for the last, 12 years, 13, something like that, I've hosted the Nintendo Shack, a weekly Nintendo show where we do all the Koopalings things. We talk about Zelda and Mario, and we're going to talk about Final Fantasy VII and everything else that's in Switch 2 land. And, we're riding that wave, and it's just looking like a great year ahead. It was a great year we just had. And I would imagine it's just going to ramp up from here as Nintendo really starts to, put those fires in motion. So be a good time to sign up if you don't have a Nintendo show and you're looking for one. Great time to sign up.
Excellent. I'll have those things in the podcast notes so you don't have to remember it because it's always hard. Thank you, Donnie, so much. You've got some awesome people you work with over there as well. Fantastic folks that I've talked to. So if you are interested in a catch-all and some awesome Nintendo podcasting and just some cool people, give PSVG a try. Very cool. For myself, I'm at Todd Oxtra, at T Oxtra on the socials. See, Donnie, I can't even figure it out either way. But I was right with the Fandom Foundry because I picked at the Fandom Foundry for all things socials, BlueSky, Instagram, and then you can check out our YouTube page. You can check out our website. We actually have a merch section of our website now through Threadless. There'll be more stuff coming there, but right now it's just our logo with stuff you can buy if you'd like. And then we have Discord just like everybody else. And then other than that, just listen and give us what I would like for Christmas. Everybody just subscribe to our YouTube channel. Like what we're doing, give us a review. I don't even care if it's a good review, just give us a review. And if there's something I can do better, let me know, except fire Todd, and then I don't know what happens then. I don't know what happens. Oh, well. But thank you so much, Donnie. This has been a pleasure. And, folks, if this was not your best week, let's make next week better. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night.
Peace.